This is going to be a study guide for the functions test that's happening Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Here we go. Determine if each one has a relation, or determine if each relation is a function. Yes. Goodness. Yes, it is. Every input has exactly one output. Yes. This is not, because it does not pass the vertical line test. This is, because every input has exactly one output. And this is because it passes the vertical line test. Moving on. This guy right here. This is not, because 2 has 2 different outputs. Alright, find the domain and range of each. The domain of this guy is from -6 all the way to 5. The domain and the range, excuse me, is from -2 all the way to 3. This guy, the domain is from 2. All of my x values are greater than or equal to 2. And for my range, all of my y values are less than or equal to 4. The domain for this guy is 1, 4, 5, and 8. And the range for this guy is 0, -1, -2, and -3. I probably should write those in increasing order, but it's fine. Moving on. The domain for this guy would be those, and the range would be those. Domain are x values and range are y values. Alright, here we go. What is the range of this guy if the domain is that? So it says, real simple here, you just plug these domain values in one by one. So this is f of -4 equals -4 squared plus 10, which is this is 16 plus 10. 16 plus 10 is, so there's your first answer. F of 0 is 0 squared plus 10. 0 is 0 squared is 0. 0 plus 10 is just 10. So there's your second answer, and then your third answer, f of 3 is 3 squared plus 10. That's 9 plus 10, which is 19. So you have 3 answers, 26, 10, and 19. What is the range? Same exact thing. You're going to plug these in. F of -3 equals 2 times -3 minus 6. This is -6. -6 minus 6 is -12. F of 0, you get 2 times 0 minus 6. 0 minus 6 is -6. And then f of 3, 2 times 3 minus 6. That's 6 minus 6, which is 0. Moving on. This one says, evaluate the following. Find f of 2. So I just do f of -2 equals 12 minus 4 times -2, which is 12 plus 8, which is 20. So f of -2 is 20. This is g of -3 equals 2 times -3 squared minus 6 times -3 plus 4. -3 squared is 9. 9 times 2 is 18. -6 times -3 is positive 18 plus 4. So that's 36 plus 4, which is 40. G of -3 is 40. Find the x and the y-intercept. The x-intercept of this guy is that x value, which is -2, and the y-intercept is that, where it crosses the y-axis, so it's -3. Find the x and the y-intercepts. Every x-intercept has a y value that is 0. So 2 times 0 is 0. So this is just -3x equals -18. You divide by -3, and your x-intercept is 6. To find the y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x, so -3 times 0 is 0. So you're just left with 2y equals -18. Divide by 2, divide by 2, and your y-intercept is -9. So that would cross the x-axis at 6, 0, and it would cross the y-axis at 0, -9. Find the x and the y-intercepts of this. So If you want to find the y-intercept, plug in 0 for x, so you're left with negative 3y equals 6 times 0, which is 0, 0 minus 36, which is negative 36. Divide by negative 3, and your y-intercept is 12. If you want to find the x-intercept, plug 0 in for y. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, so 0 equals 6x minus 36. Add 36, add 36, then you get 36 equals 6x. Divide by 6, and your x-intercept is 6. Moving on. What is the domain and range of the graph to the right? The domain for this guy would be the x values from negative 4 to positive infinity. So the way you say that is your domain, all of your domain values are greater than or equal to negative 4. That's what your domain would be. Your range is from 1 down, so your range values, which are your y values, are all less than or equal to 1. What are the x and y intercepts? Well, the x-intercept would be negative 2, and the y-intercept would be negative 1. Is the graph to the right a function? Obviously it is, because it would pass the vertical line test. What is the domain and range of the graph to the right? Your domain would be from negative 4 all the way to 5. So here's how you write that. Your domain values are all greater than or equal to negative 4, but they're all less than or equal to 5. Your range go from negative 4 all the way up to 2. So your range would be negative 4, and then your y all the way up to 2. The zeros, this word right here means x-intercepts, so your zeros, there are 2 of them. They would be negative 4 and negative 1. And then is the graph to the right a function? It is not a function, because if you do vertical lines, it's going to connect with the graph more than one time, so that is not. And that's the study guide.